Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. Today we're going to show you the 2023 version of the C8 Corvette. This is the Stingray R that we're going to be looking at, and I'll show you what all is there as we go through the tour. But here's the interesting thing. In 2020, when these first came out, the price was $59,995. Well, since then, for 2023, the price is now $63,995, or I believe $895, unless you go with the convertible, such as what we have here. Then it's $73,395. So, if you are interested in buying one of these, here are the advantages. It has plenty of power and absolutely astonishing handling capabilities that you don't need track experience to bring out in the car. In fact, if you crash one of these, you're actually a very terrible driver because they handle that well. Is it still setting the precedent in its class? That's the question we're going to answer today. It has one mid-engine competitor, which is the Porsche Cayman 718. So other than that, the Hellcat, the Mustang GT500 are its main competitors. So let's take a look at exactly what we have here and see if it's better and if it's worth the sticker price. And what's new for 2023? There are a couple of additions. The Tech Bronze wheels make their debut, as does the Adrenaline Red dipped interior color option. There are new 20-spoke wheel designs and the optional black exhaust tips, as well as the 70th edition package. And before anybody gets on me, yes, there is one more competitor I forgot to mention. As long as it has a V8, the Jaguar F-Type also competes with the C8 Corvette. So I'm going to have Carrie show you a few things here. We've got the LED headlamps with automatic leveling. So that's always going to be useful when going down the road. You're going to be able to see well and where you need to see. You also have the carbon flash metallic side view mirrors. Those are obviously power. They're power folding. So there we go. We're going to show you those mirrors folding out. And we have the forged aluminum wheels. You're going to notice the red stripe with the Corvette racing themed graphics also on the hood. This is the Stingray themed design package basically that you can opt for. You've got the center caps that are going to have that on there as well. And this being the 2LT package, it includes everything that the base package includes, plus roughly 20 additional amenities. I'm not going to name off every single one of those, but it does include the heated seats, heated steering wheel, alert system on the side, rear of the vehicle, the side and rear of the vehicle, a theft deterrent system. That's good if you live in Shreveport, Louisiana, and those power folding side view mirrors and traffic navigation. One thing is a must. If you're going to have a rear spoiler on your C8, it needs to be the high wing as we have right here. It just wouldn't look right if it was down here at basically trunk level or body level, although it's not quite as high as what you would have on the 2019 ZR1. I think that would look better if it was even a little bit higher up. Here is the remote for 2023. Really no changes there, but obviously this being the convertible, there are going to be a lot of additions there. Show you the back as well. So let's take advantage of a couple of those things. We'll show you first of all what we have back here storage wise. There's actually a reasonable amount of space for having this being the convertible model. You could fit a golf bag back there easily and have room left over. That's kind of the industry standard of sorts. And I don't know if Carrie can get a good shot of this or not, but I'm going to close this down and let you see that it's basically soft closing. So I'm just going to kind of push down on that and you'll see that it goes on down. Let's see, come on now. I say I'm going to do that and then it doesn't work. There we go. And let's move on to the frunk. I'll show you what's up here as well. Hit the button on that, and I like the fact, watch this. This is something I really like here. It's not like opening a hood on a car. When you open it, you don't have to reach under and find some kind of a release. So, as you can see, there's a decent amount of space in there as well. Our equipment bag fits very well. I do find it kind of funny that there's an emergency release, and I realize that's just one of those federal mandate sort of things, but who is flexible enough to get stuck in the frunk of a C8? I know I'm sure not. I used to get in the trunk of these cars quite a bit years ago, but you also have the, I don't know if Carrie can probably show you it better than I can, but there is a 12-volt power outlet. So if you got stuck in there and you needed power, well, I guess you'd have it for a little while until you decided to push that button right there. But it is what it is. And yes, I'm not going to commit the cardinal sin of the frunk. I'm going to close this very carefully, all prim and proper and everything so nobody can say anything. Okay, if you've ever wondered what it looks like in here, we'll just give you a good look. Obviously, here is the top, just kind of giving you a good idea of what's underneath this area of the vehicle. When you put your top down, you might not look back there and take a look. Obviously, you can raise and lower the rear window right here as well. And we'll do that later on and show you how all that works. Really a pretty simple system, but I know sometimes you might need a tutorial on how to do this and look for, as I did earlier, because it's been a long time since I've done a convertible C8. Looking all through the center of the vehicle, trying to find out where the button is to actually put the top down. It's actually right here on the driver's side door, and this button is for the window. And what about performance? Well, it's the 6.2 liter V8 under the hood. It is naturally aspirated. It would be awesome to have a supercharger on here, or to have the Z06. Hopefully we can do that sometime in the near future. I cannot wait. But in this case, you're still not shy on horsepower. 490 horsepower, torque comes in at 470. 8-speed dual clutch transmission. And for those of you who are saying, what exactly is a dual clutch transmission? It's a computer controlled manual transmission. So I'm going to let Carrie give you a couple of close-ups here. I'm going to look, let's talk MPGs. 15 miles per gallon city, 27 out on the highway, 19 combined. And here's the thing, if you're curious, how much gas does it hold? 18.5 gallons is the size of the tank. Okay, if you want to charge your phone, you almost have to be kind of a contortionist of sorts, because the wireless charging pad is way back here in the rear. That's where it is. Let me turn my phone off where you can actually see if we, there it goes, it comes on. So you can see that's the wireless charging pad. Isn't that interesting? Okay, I'm gonna show you how to put the roof up real quick. Obviously, the ignition has to be on. You have to put your foot on the brake, and then that button that I showed you on the left-hand side of the driver's side door is what you're going to hold down. And now you do have to hold it down the whole time in case you're wondering, so that's something that's good to know. So we're gonna go ahead and bring that back up. It's gonna do its thing, and once it completes the process, it will actually give you a little notification and let you know that it's done. Let's see if we can let you hear that. There you go. And the windows go back up. I'm gonna bring the windows back down, and I'm gonna let Carrie come in here and show you something real quick from the driver's side door, just so we can show you this rear window going down and up. So here we go. And you can do this, as you can see, and you can see me right there, when you're not having the top, when the top is not down. Let's put that correct, but that's how you do that, just in case you were wondering. And just to show you, so you know for sure, here are the buttons. This is for lowering the rear window. This is for lowering and raising the top. Okay, I'm gonna have Carrie come in and show you the GT1 bucket seats. Very well bolstered, by the way, for obvious reasons, for when you're out tracking the car with your friends or having a spirited drive out on the road. So the bolstering, very good, but they're still very comfortable as well. This color just fits perfectly. 8-way adjustment, by the way, for the driver and the passenger. Both are heated and ventilated. That means here in Northwest Louisiana, in the morning you need heated. By about 10 o'clock in the morning, you need the ventilated seats.
By the way, there is also a front lift on this particular model, which means when you go up to those high spots, maybe coming in and out of your driveway at home or just driving over a bump in a parking lot, whatever the case may be, you can raise the front end up to not only clear that, but if it's a place you go regularly, there are multiple settings that the car will memorize so that it knows when you get to that area to automatically raise the front end.
Hopefully everybody can see the heads-up display. I don't know how easy that is to see, but there is the heads-up display, and if you wonder what Carrie looks like, there he is. That's our videographer. Tell this guy he needs to get in front of the camera more regularly. We need to change positions. Okay, how about the interior? Let's start with the passenger side door over there. And you're gonna notice that you have a couple of neat little features. You have seat memory, for one thing, on the passenger side, not just on the driver's side, but on the passenger side as well. So that's good if you have a couple of different people that are gonna be riding regularly. Everything here is power as far as opening the doors, but if the battery dies, I'll let Carrie show you down on the floor where the emergency release is, and there's also ways to obviously get into the car if the battery dies with a key. So not a big deal. easy to do. Now, if you're wondering, how do you open the glove box, for example? I'm gonna let Carrie show you that in real time. It's kind of confusing if you're not aware that it's right there between the air conditioning vents. And then something else that I find very interesting here. I'm sorry, Chevrolet, but if you were going to change one thing, here's what I believe it should be. Right here are all the controls for the air conditioning. You have dual zone climate control, heated and ventilated seats, and that's all fine and good, but that is not what belongs there. There needs to be, at least in my opinion, everything here should have to do with driving the car, changing driving modes or something along those lines. I mean, what do you think about that? Tell me in the comment section. The mode selector is right here. In fact, it's underneath this area right here, so you're just going to change that. Did you hear the sound of the engine change? So I'm going to go back to touring mode. You really can't tell much of a difference, can you? That's kind of interesting. But you do have sport mode and you do have track mode as well. And as you can see, it tells you everything you have there. You can go in and make adjustments. It's pretty cool, pretty adjustable. Also, something that's very useful here, I think, is the camera mirror, the rear view camera mirror, and you can turn that off if you would like and have it be a regular mirror. Now, when you put the top down, it's automatically going to be the regular mirror no matter what. And let's talk a little bit about what's going on here. If Carrie can reach over here, I hope he can, to show you the dashboard. In fact, we'll just change hands real quick. I'm going to show you what happens when you change driving modes, just so you can see in real time on the dashboard. You do get some changes there. Now, we're not going to have that look on the dashboard. We're going to have this look on the dashboard. And then we've also got, well, in case you haven't seen one of these before, there's your button for starting and stopping the engine, the control for the radio, and we can go home right here. And Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, all of your settings right there. You've got your built-in navigation. I know a lot of you really like that in your vehicles, so you do have that there. Or with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, you can use your favorite navigation option for the phone, your favorite app. And then we have multiple camera views, and I really like the way that looks. We'll go through a couple of different views here just so you can see what all is there. There's your trajectory lines you can get rid of if you want to, and all that good stuff. Now, one thing that's interesting is the push button shifter. Tell me what you think about that. It looks kind of like the same shifter you would have in a Honda Odyssey minivan, and if Chevrolet changes this, then I know somebody from Chevrolet was watching my video. And with the straight pipes, guys, like the visor, I'm going to make Carrie be in the video this time. We're trading places today, at least on camera. But the straight pipes guys, I should say, always like to test and see how far that visor will go back. Not very far. You almost have to move the seat forward to take advantage of that. But there it is, no matter what. And the steering wheel. Yeah, I'm going to show that to you real quick, just so you can see. It looks almost like the Corvette logo upside down if you look at it just right. I'm not going to turn the scene upside down or anything like that. And something I do like here, nice large shifter paddles. It would be nice if they stayed affixed to the steering column instead of moving with the steering wheel, but that's just my personal preference. Just in case you were wondering what all is up here, I'll show you. You've got OnStar, you can turn the airbag off. There's a few different things you can turn off here and turn on. And if you're looking like I was earlier for the hazard lights button, it's right there. Just in case you were wondering, sometimes it's interesting when you're looking at these cars, even after you've bought one, your salesman or saleswoman might not have shown you everything. Well, there's something you might need to know about. Okay, we're out on the test drive now, and if you want to see what the launch is like from Carrie's perspective, here we go. You see why I wanted you to hold the camera? And I did figure out how to get the launch RPM a little bit higher. So if you're curious about launching one of these C8 Corvettes and you're wondering, does it take 97 steps like it used to with the C7s? No, it doesn't. Sport or track mode, step number 1. Make sure you're pointed in a straight line with the tires pointed straight, obviously. You're gonna mat the brake and mat the gas. And let go of the brake and off you go. But That's going to be at the lower of the 2 available RPM launch settings. There may be more than that, but as far as I know, there's just 2. But if you hit the traction control button twice, it will change the mode, and then you can launch it at an even higher RPM, which is what we just did. So anyway, I don't know what else to do besides let you listen like we just did with the flyby shot. These cars are just unbelievable to drive. It feels like an all-wheel drive sports car, even though it's not. Obviously, balance has a lot to do with that. I'm going to move over into this lane, and by the way, before any of the correction Nazis get upset in the comments section, we are not on a interstate highway, so it's okay to drive in the left-hand lane. And you'll notice there's no signs that say otherwise, because if people are merging just like that SUV back there, I don't want to be in their lane they're trying to merge into, even though legally you don't have to move over, but I like to do this anyway. So anyway, what a fun car to drive. The handling is unbelievable, really unparalleled to any other Corvette, any generation of Corvette that I've ever driven. The acceleration is insane, and that has to do with quite a few things, including that dual clutch transmission, just the way everything is tuned. These cars are so fun to drive, and to be honest, even with the price increase that we talked about that's come up since 2020, it hasn't even gone up quite $4,000. It's not too bad, or not I should say 5,000, but you're still getting so much for the price, so much more than you pay for. Fun to drive. This is the owner of this car, it's her daily driver. There's probably not a whole lot of people out there who daily drive their C8 Corvette, but you can easily do that. Depending on your situation, of course, but she's doing that. So I don't know what else could be said. It is so much fun to drive, and it's so much fun to put your videographer in the passenger seat when you know they're not expecting what's going to happen. So tell me down in the comments section, is this 2023 Corvette Stingray 2LT worth the sticker price? Tell me what your answer is, and tell me why you answered the way that you did, if I can keep from getting tongue twisted, right? So you can fix your typos in the comments. I can't necessarily fix my tongue twisters. Anyway, gotta say a special thanks to my friend Deanna, who owns this Corvette. She works at Red River Chevrolet, very sweet lady. Thanks, Deanna, for letting us borrow your brand new baby for the day. We really appreciate it. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give us the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. Maybe this is it, maybe not. If it isn't, check out another of the videos that's on the screen right now, and I'll see you there.